Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Sam here with another video. Today we're gonna go over 5 common myths and misconceptions about the tarot. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. Tarot and tarot cards and divination has been around for a very, very long time. If you want me to do a video on the history of tarot, just let me know in the comments because that is a really interesting topic to me. But much like anything that has been around for a long time, misconceptions and myths around reading tarot have also existed. And we're going to jump right in to the first one on our list. And the first myth is that tarot is evil or demonic and will open a portal to hell in your home or in your life. I have actually heard this one in person more than once when I first started reading tarot a few years ago. And my answer to this is, tarot is just a tool, much like the person who says stuff like this about it being demonic and evil. Tools have whatever meaning you give them. Tarot is not inherently evil or bad. Honestly, I think just like any tool, it's neutral. It depends on how you use it. You can use it to help find answers in your own life and help understand your own situation, understand maybe how you can help somebody else. You know, you can use it for learning and furthering your spiritual and personal development. You probably could also use it for, you know, untrustworthy purposes, trying to get information on others without their consent, stuff like that. So it just depends on your intentions and how you want to actually use this tool. And I'm gonna just add, with proper psychic protection and spiritual boundaries, you will not be harmed while reading tarot. That was like one of the biggest concerns that certain people had for me when they found out I started reading tarot and they found out I was starting to do mediumship and the whole psychic thing. They're like, oh yeah, but that's so dangerous. You're putting your spirituality in danger. You're putting your salvation in danger, whatever. No, I've been doing this for a while and I have not been harmed because I put up the proper boundaries. There are many ways to actually cleanse your space and yourself and your cards. Like, I have a ton of crystals. I think they're beautiful. And the benefit is that they can help to cleanse energy. When I was still more Christian than anything, I would always pray before I started reading and would always ask for protection. I still do ask my guides and the spirit realm for protection. And I just ask that those with the most loving intentions, with the best intentions, to come through and surround me while I work. This leads into the second myth on our list, and that is, you don't know who you're getting your information from. I was also told this by the same people who told me that tarot is evil and demonic and was going to open a portal to, I don't know if it was, they said a portal to hell or a portal to the devil. It was going to invite the devil into my home and into my, you know. So, okay. This one is a little bit weird because sometimes if you don't have the proper protection and boundaries and you don't set your intentions before reading, you might get a message from some total rando from the other side. But the best thing to do is to set clear intentions before reading. Specifically call on who you want to hear from. So that could be your archangels. Maybe you want to talk to Metatron. Maybe you want to talk to Raphael or Michael, you know, if that resonates with you. Maybe you want to talk to your higher self. Set that intention that you want to speak to your higher self. Maybe you want to talk to a specific person that is on the other side. So like, you know, your grandparent, which one? Specify which one. Or, you know, it could be like your auntie, a specific one, or specific family member, a specific friend. Set that intention. The other thing that's important to know is that even when you do set your intention and you specifically call on who it is you want to hear from, take the reading and the messages you get in the reading with a grain of salt. You are free to make your own choices. So if something in the reading feels off, or maybe you're not really ready to hear it and understand it yet, just set it aside. Or, you don't have to believe everything that comes up in a tarot reading, or you don't have to take every piece of advice that comes in through a tarot reading. For the most part, just from my experience, for the most part, when you call on, beings like your archangels, your higher self, they do want to help you and they will give you information that will help you. But when you're talking to like a loved one or a friend or another person you knew that's now on the other side, if something feels off, like I said, you don't have to believe it. You don't have to follow the advice. You don't have to do what they're telling you. Myth number 3 on our list is that tarot readings are written in stone and the outcome will not change, and this is how it is and this is how it's going to be. That's not exactly true. Everything in life is subject to change. Everything. Tarot readings will tell you how your situation is most likely to turn out if you stay on a certain path or make certain choices. Because you can do a reading on, well, what will happen, like, here's my situation, like, let's say a lot of people like to read on careers and jobs, stuff like that. Like, here's the career that I want. Here's workplace A, B, and C. How will it be if I picked this one? How would it be if I picked this one? How would it be if I picked this one? Or, how is the situation going to go if I stay on the path that I'm currently on? So it tells you what is probably going to happen or most likely to happen given your circumstances during the time of the reading and the energy that surrounds you and your situation at the time of the reading. The next thing that I'm going to say is that you have free will. Use it. You don't like the outcome of a reading? Make different choices and see what you can change. Because a lot of times you can. A lot of how our life turns out depends on the choices that we make. And I'm just going to say something else just from my experience. Other readers may have something different to say, but from readings I've done for myself and others and clients and readings that I've done even on my channel, very few of those readings say something that cannot be changed with free will choices. We're going to put a little asterisk there because there are some things in life that cannot be avoided and tarot can give you a heads up. But more often than not, the outcome is very, very changeable. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about seeing something bad in a reading and feeling powerless, like you can't do anything to change it, because a lot of times you probably can. The next thing we're going to talk about, the next myth, is that tarot readers can tell you anything that you want to know. And I used to believe this one. Actually, before I started reading tarot, I used to believe that psychics knew everything, and that the Reiki teacher I used to have, I believed that she could look at me and know absolutely everything about me and know what I was thinking and know exactly how I was feeling and know whatever mental images and stuff I had going through my mind at that moment. It was kind of a scary thought. Nobody is really comfortable with the idea of somebody knowing every single thing that's going on inside their mind. So the good news is, no. If that's something you're worried about, the good news is no, we cannot tell you anything you want to know. There's a couple different reasons for this. First of all, good readers will abide by some kind of moral or ethical code. I have a whole video on the ethical psychic and how to practice this craft with care. I'll throw a card somewhere around here. If that's something you want to check out, please check that out. If that's something you're interested in, it's very important to me, and I think it's just really helpful information to have. So some readers will not allow questions about someone else without consent. And that's really tough for some people. Most people have good intentions and they just want to know, like, is my loved one doing well? Or like, they're really struggling with this. What's going on inside their mind? You know, and usually the intent is to like, how can I help them? I cannot just go pull cards on your employee or your student or your whoever without their consent. I'm not comfortable doing that. That's a really hard line for me. And I kind of have this agreement with the spiritual realm that if, you know, I'm starting to get into territory that is not my business and is starting to go outside of that moral area, that ethical sort of zone, that I'm just not even going to get a clear answer. Or I'll get a very direct, like, you need to ask them for yourself. Some messages are not for the client to know right away. There might be something that's really, really important to you that you want to know, or you suspect something and you want it confirmed, but maybe you have to find out on your own instead of hearing it from a tarot reader. You know, maybe it's just the client, or who, you know, you're asking about something that maybe you need to figure it out for yourself. Like I was saying, maybe you have to hear it from someone else, not the tarot reader. Maybe it's something that you need to hear from someone in your personal life or someone that you love and respect and trust. And sometimes, well, just like anybody in any profession, sometimes tarot readers make mistakes. Sometimes a reader might not know what a particular message or answer means. I always believe that a good psychic or a good reader will be honest when they don't know what something means. Give the message anyways, but don't try to interpret it if you don't know what it's actually saying. A lot of mistakes can happen when a reader tries to do that. They don't know what something means, but they try to give their interpretation anyways, and it could be slightly off, it could be really, really off. They could be taking something literally when it's actually symbolic, or they could be taking something symbolically when it's actually literal. So no, a tarot reader can't tell you everything that you want to know. I still think you can get a lot of valuable information from a tarot reading, but don't expect don't expect us to know everything about you. Don't expect us to know all your secrets, all your skeletons. It's not like that at all. The last one we're going to talk about today is that you have to be psychic or spiritual in nature to do tarot. Anybody can learn to read tarot. Tarot is just a tool. It's a means to an end. Everybody has a connection to the divine in some way or another. Everybody has that potential to develop their psychic abilities, their spiritual abilities, whatever you want to call that. A lot of tarot readers, I think a lot of them do have some kind of a spiritual practice or some kind of spiritual life. And a lot of tarot readers are psychic, but you don't have to have a spiritual practice if that's just not something that's ever resonated in your life. And you don't have to make tarot your career. You don't have to make it your life. You can learn to read tarot without, you don't even have to take clients to learn how to read tarot. You can just do it for yourself and for, you know, maybe some friends or some close people in your life. So no, you don't have to, you know, jump in, dive in head first, start a YouTube channel, start a business, take all these clients. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can still learn how to read tarot. So that is actually part 1 of a Tarot Myths 2-part set. I will come up with part 2 right away. I will post it, I don't know, probably, I'm trying to get stuff out at least once a week. So maybe a week from the time this is recorded. So, I mean, if you're watching this in the future, you probably don't even have to wait. It'll probably just be like next, up next on your suggestions. So was this helpful to you? Let me and others know in the comments, what were some of the myths and misconceptions that you heard about tarot when you were first starting your divination journey? What are some things that you still aren't clear on? What are some things that still confuse you? I would love to hear about it. It's something I love talking about. It's just such a fun thing to discuss. Anyways, remember to like and subscribe to Sienna Rose Metaphysical. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again very, very soon.